A journey into our history, our culture and our people.
Kalinago entered the Caribbean around, perhaps after 600. There was lots of different groups interacting with each other, and for the very same reason that people come to the Caribbean islands today, for the warmth, for the peace, for the quiet, the very same reason was the reason why people from South America began to come up the islands to escape from the harshness of South America, from diseases and from the warfare that took place between societies that were close, that were fighting for scarce resources.
Despite our young age as an independent nation, St. Lucia has had a long and intriguing history. According to some historians, St. Lucia's first known inhabitants were the Arawaks, believed to have come from the northern parts of South America, settling the islands between 200 and 400 AD. Numerous archaeological sites on the island have produced specimens of the Arawaks' well-developed society.
Although you would have settlements, and you did have settlements in the other islands, this notion of the Arawaks dominated the northern Antilles and the Caribs dominated the Lesser Antilles, that is not quite the case. In fact, what you had was largely Arawakan-speaking peoples who came and settled in most of the islands. What you had was that you had a larger concentration and more organization in Puerto Rico and in Hispaniola. What you had following that was a group of traders. Having established these early settlements in the Great Antilles, or organized settlements, they then needed to trade. And you had this second group of people who were referred to as, you had the term Caniba, you had Kalinago, and you had names like that. But that seems to be the dominant name. They're either Caniba or Kalinago, who were actually traders who came to the islands to trade goods from South America and to take back the stones, for example. The volcanic stones of the islands were better for making tools, and so these stones were taken back. Also, the quality of the cassava was very good in the islands, and so the cassava was taken back to South America, and cotton and cloth was brought up. So you had this trade taking place. So you had a very important trade taking place between South America and the Great Antilles.
The Europeans first landed on the islands in the region somewhere between 1492 and 1502, during Spain's early exploration of the Caribbean. The Dutch, English and French all tried to establish trading outposts on St. Lucia. Petroglyphs depicting that society and their beliefs can be found etched into the rocks in several areas where communities still thrive today. In the village of Choiseul, in the southwest, much of these ancient arts and crafts are still practiced.
You have people who were dominated for years. Those who refuse to be dominated get annihilated or get shipped out and sent in reserves in other places. In Dominica, you create a reserve and you put them there. The Garifuna of St. Vincent are sent off to Belize. You subdue them. You bring in new people, and when they try to resist, you subdue them as well, and you find all kinds of ways to pacify and make them subject to your way of doing things. And that's done through religion, that's done through economic organization, and that's done through imposing political organizations on people. So what you've created in the Caribbean is a hybrid, but a very passive hybrid. So we're very passive people in the Caribbean, and that's why they say that we're very constitutional. We follow the Constitution.
It is thought that another South American tribe known as the Caribbeans gradually replaced the Arawaks during the period from 800 to 1000 AD. The Caribbeans, later called Caribs, were strong-willed nomadic traders and would resist attempts of domination on the part of the Europeans. Their canoes could hold more than 100 men and were fast as sailing ships.
So a combination of material culture, some oral traditions and some oral history is what allows us to piece that broken, that untold story together.